Georges County. So with that said, I'm let Mel come up. And great seeing you, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me in Charles County. As always, enjoy coming and visiting our neighbors to the south. I do want to say first and foremost that this is a real partnership. We have been at this for years, nowhere near as long as Gary. Gary's been at this for 30 years, almost.
This is the anniversary.
Is this the anniversary? And truly, my message tonight is we need light rail, and we need it now. If you look at the challenges that we're confronting in our region, from southern Prince George's County, Charles County, northern St. Mary's County, to the 450,000 people who live in that commuter shed, they call it, to the 100,000 or more residents that we're going to increase by 2040. That's just over 20 years from now. Where are they going to go? How are they going to get around? This problem is not getting better. It's getting worse each and every day. And right now, the answer from the state is no answer. There's no solution. Folks are just suffering. And that's not acceptable. And I want folks to get angry about it. Because that's what it's going to take to get people interested and mobilized, is to realize all the lost time with their families, to realize all the lost economic development. There are businesses right now who don't come to Waldorf, don't come to southern Prince George's County, and probably not northern St. Mary's, just because of the traffic. Just because they're impacted by the concern about congestion and residents not wanting to go out at many times a day to get to their businesses. That impacts our tax base. That impacts the choice of our residents. It impacts our quality of life. And frankly, it's not acceptable that our governor has no answer. And so, my message tonight is we in Prince George's County stand united with our partners in Charles County. We stand in unity with you, and we want to work together to solve this problem. But most importantly, we want to work together to advocate for advancing this issue forward in the state. I stand ready to work with our General Assembly in the upcoming session to force this issue, to force it in the budget if we have to force the next steps, whether it's the NEPA study, whether it's moving to another phase. We need to use the formidable weight of Prince George's, Charles County, and St. Mary's County to move this issue forward in Annapolis, just as we've done in the grassroots level in our communities on the ground. That's what it's going to take. We carry a lot of influence. I will tell you, Charles County, particularly in northern St. Mary's County, you all might decide this governor's race. You might decide this governor's race. I'm being real here. So this is the kind of issue where we have to leverage those votes, leverage that influence to get the job done. And I do agree that regardless of who wins the governor's race, I think it's no secret that I support Ben Jealous, but regardless of who wins, we are going to have to be organized and to advocate for this issue. I don't care if it's 10 people in here or 100 people. 10 people can change the world if we're organized and if we're angry enough and if we're willing to get out there and talk to folks and speak to our communities. And so that's really what we need to do. We stand ready to work with you in southern Prince George's County, South County as we call it. We did have almost 400 people there, and they're ready. They're still mobilized. They're ready to go. I think what we really need to do now is to focus on neighborhood by neighborhood, getting folks energized and involved, and for the long haul. And good to see Ben. Good to see the great work you did with the Purple Line. I'm biased, but I think the argument for this is even stronger than the Purple Line. I was a big Purple Line advocate and still am, but I think our argument is even strong, at least as strong, if not stronger, for light rail in Southern Maryland because of the massive traffic congestion, because of the projected growth. Folks, this problem is going to get so much worse. I cannot convey to you how much worse this problem is going to get. Each and every day it's getting worse. And we cannot dig and build roads to get ourselves out of this problem. I won't turn down a road project. Let me tell you, don't get me wrong, the governor. I'm not turning down any road projects, but that's not going to solve this problem. Right. More people are just going to drive, and we're going to be back in the same boat. So the road projects are just Band-Aids. And we don't really have that many big ones that are going to help anyway, but even the ones that we do have that are happening are just Band-Aids. They're going to help for a few minutes here and there, and then we're going to get worse again because more people are going to drive. They can say, oh, they're building a new road. I wasn't driving before. I might have been carpooling. I'm going to get out in my car now and get out there. Who doesn't want the convenience of being able to come and go when you want? So that's not going to solve it. We have to give folks a different way to travel. Give people choice. Give people options. One of the things people like to do when we talk about rail is, oh, you're trying to force me out of my car. No, I'm not. I just want to give you an option, give you a choice. Right now, you got no choice but to get in your car and be stuck, for however many hours every day, depending on where you're leaving and coming from. I want folks to have a choice, and we want folks to have a choice. Get in your rail, get in the car, either way, but it will benefit all of us. Economic development, we talked about that. I'm all for making sure that our tax base grows in our region. This is a great place to live. Southern Maryland is a wonderful place to live. People want the lifestyle of being able to be, yes, near the District of Columbia, but also have our quiet lifestyle that we like. But we also want amenities. We also want convenience. Rail gives you that choice, gives you those options in a way that roads won't. So I stand united with you. I know Gary's going to talk in more detail about some of the very clear steps we need to take to move forward in terms of the actual project timeline. But this really is about political will. If we've got time to talk about toll lanes all over the Beltway and 295 and wherever else, we can move this project forward. This project would be moving at light speed if the governor was supportive of it. And so what we need is the governor to endorse this project. That's what we need. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.